This is Justin AMZN on Wednesday, July 18th, 2018. And this is what happened today. We went sideways after market and pre-market. Shot up real quick thinking, okay, we're breaking out again. And sold right back down, right into the same range. And then high wave doji that didn't bounce, pulled back, bouncing off of 1841. And then pulled through, just chopped around in here. It made a nice triangle here. Lower highs, higher lows. This is really the only opportunity you really had to just do something. You're below this line, so you're kind of thinking, okay, bearish. But once it gets above it, once it was above it yesterday, similar to this, it got above it, stayed above it, retested, bounced off of it, bounced off it again. Once it gets above it, let's wait for it to pull back into it. Probably could have set up a trade to buy right on the line, stop down here or even down here. We can go look at that in the options. And then a quick move. You would have had to have been getting out at the 1851 highs we saw from yesterday. The only issue is we didn't get there. We got up here, did a stair step for 20 minutes, and then ended up breaking down. So you would have had to actually just exit at like 2R if it made it that high. In here, or 1/2 hour or 1 hour, whatever it is in the option, and then since it wasn't continuing, and then or you would have been stopped out or trailed out as it pulls back in here, then comes back down here, takes out the low. So now I'm zooming out a little bit. I mean, I didn't move it, but I'm looking a little bit bigger picture. Get higher lows and lower highs in the day. And I saw this, I glanced at the chart, I think somewhere in here today, and it's like, I saw it in here. It's like, oh, okay, that's a higher low. That's a lower high. It'll probably come up into here, get real tight, and then go. Or go. And it did neither. It literally went sideways for like 2.5 hours. Very tight range, not really any way to make anything in here, and it needed to rest. This was a resting day. Look at the daily. We've got a resting doji way up here, all-time high again. We did it similar here after a big run up to a new high, rested here. Tomorrow could be similar to this candle, and then the next day maybe pull back into the 5 exponential and continue. So if tomorrow is similar, it should be up here, and then the next day maybe a little bit of a bounce off the 10, off the 5. This pattern here was a few days before the monthly expiration, so it's possible. It's still possible to have a small candle like this after a gap down. This one was selling, this one was more selling, this one was more selling. Most of the time, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the last 5 months. It's been a selling candle right into expiration. So that could happen for Friday. We'll revisit how far we pull back. If we pull back tomorrow, that's kind of my assumption is we're right here. I mean, we just made this candle today, this candle yesterday. The only thing we still have going for us is this is a bullish engulfing at a really nice upper wick. We took out that high. Now we've pulled back slightly, can pull back a little more still. But this bullish squeeze, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could have a couple more days where we move slightly higher. But I wouldn't be surprised if this reduction in the trend angle, the momentum kind of drops and we pull back slightly. So that's kind of what I think would happen there. So coming back into this, if you waited for this pullback into the line here, so that was 10 o'clock on the call. 10 o'clock on the call would have been buying here, probably buying like 10, maybe 10.50. If you were able to buy at 10, like 10 by 9. And that would have been, a little bit of a shorter stop than what the chart would warrant. So maybe you did 10 by 9, maybe you have a larger R, did 10 by 8. You're in it. If you're at 10, you're like, oh, 11, we're good. 12, we're good. 13, we're good, it got there. And then it just kind of chops around. And by the time it comes back up here, it's like, okay, we're breaking out. No, we didn't. So if you got in at 10, you probably trailed your stop up thinking it's going to continue up to the high of the day. And maybe you got trailed out here for a little more than an hour. Maybe you got trailed out up here for almost 2 hours if we were aiming for 12. Or you could have gotten in 10 by 9 and just exited at 12. Locked in 2 hours. Any of those are viable, you know. It's just whatever rules you've got set up. If we take a look at the puts, back up here, we were in this range. We didn't even get back up to the 1851. We sold off from there. Had you been getting in on this candle at 1040. So at 1040, okay, this candle. Let's say you got in at 550. Let's just say 550 by 450. Okay, then you only took that up. You know, 650 is 1 hour, 750. It did get there. Maybe you exited there. That's 2 hour. You had this big gap down here between 950 and 955. Let's see, 950 to 955. Wait, right there. Let's call that a gap. Maybe there's just nobody buying much, and there's just an open order that comes up. I'm not sure what that means, because that's, you know, there's two candles relatively close to each other. But anyway, just not a very eventful day. You know, we had some really clear things happening here, but it didn't really continue. Just needed to rest. So, short video tonight. Hope you enjoyed the video. This is just AMZN. Thanks.